given the COVID situation and the quarantine rules in Australia with the 2 weeks quarantine, we just felt that that period of time for the auction coming over for 3 or 4 days and then having to do 2 weeks quarantine probably was inefficient. And thankfully, the management and Mike backed me on that one, and I was able to work remotely from Sydney and still have that time with the family, and the kids were back at school. So I was still fully available like I would be if I was over here for the auction, but it just meant that I was up at weird hours in Australia because of the time difference. But it just felt like still being a part of it, even though I wasn't sitting in the room, I was just there on a Zoom call. So I really appreciated the flexibility of being able to do that. I know my family appreciated it, and I think in these times, it's nice to have that flexibility with doing that. We've done a lot of reviewing right when the season finished, because right throughout the season you're always looking at how you can improve and maybe any little areas in your game that need to improve to be up there with the best. And I think by the end of the season we took that time, pretty much in the weeks after, to review it, get all that done, and then plan ahead for not only the scouting process but also the auction process. So a lot of the work was done, particularly in the weeks straight after the season. So it felt like when we got around to doing the mock auctions, it was basically following up on a lot of the side Mushtaq tournament and the local domestic tournament. And because we had the scouts in place, Mello had done a great job with them, we felt like we were really ready for the auction and had everything in place. Look, we made a conscious effort to try and keep the core of the group together. We felt that last season there were a lot of positives. For the first time in a number of years, we obviously got to the playoffs, but I think the other part of it was that we did back in a lot of the young Indian talent. And when I say that, I mean, we backed in a young kid at the top of the order, Padikar, who'd never played IPL. He didn't let us down, he was brilliant. We backed Washington Sundar in, played a full season, he was outstanding, and he's gone on now and played some really good cricket for India, obviously in T20 but also in the Test arena. We backed in young Siraj and Saini with the ball, and they pretty much had almost full seasons for us. So there's 4 young Indian players there that we backed in and gave games on top of Virat and Chahal, who are very experienced players. So we felt like we gained a lot from that experience with them, and developing a core of Indian players. Obviously there was a bit of turnover with our squad, and that's unfortunately how it goes sometimes in IPL, looking for a slightly different balanced team, rejigging a few spots. But ultimately, we're really happy with the squad we got in terms of picking up some more Indian talent at the auction. We've done a lot of scouting on the domestic front, and a lot of the young talent we got in, not only young talent but some experienced talent as well. Guys like Sachin Baby that's played IPL before. We bought Harshal Patel, we bought Daniel Sams from Delhi. So there's a number of guys that are new to the franchise, but we're happy with the mix we've got. We've brought in a lot of experience, and there was a conscious effort there, particularly from an overseas point of view. Dan Christian's a very experienced player. Obviously Glenn Maxwell's a very experienced player. From that perspective, so we didn't have Kane Richardson last year. Adam Zampa obviously is very experienced. So we've got a lot of experience on top of Virat and Chahal and AB and these guys. So from that perspective, we feel like we've got a good mixture of experience and also exciting young talent.